Blessed ROSH, HASHANAH, New Year.
It's that I have, like
Hallelujah.
you said,
We're celebrating.
research.
It's the third day, but hey, it's a feast day of the New Year, so we're having a good time. It takes a long time, right? I mean, we're so busy already just with life, and then we really had to do a celebration, at least in New Year's. We did. We barbecued. One day was just to do all the barbecue and turn on the fire. I was like, yeah, there's a reason why you shouldn't have a fire. Well, starting the fire is some work, you know. I can imagine every single family trying to do that. You know what I mean? I was like, man, it's
When we do
some people were.
when we do Passover, we gotta start earlier. The fire has to start earlier.
Well,
I can't eat
yeah.
at 10 o'clock.
To me, I
10 o'clock at night. I couldn't eat meat at 10
to
o'clock.
me, I just think like, yeah, I'm still. I guess it's the age. It's the age thing, definitely. To me, it just feels like normal. Even when I'm sometimes going.
He has no concept of time. I figured that one out. He really doesn't, and I do because I have your nap time.
It's really good though. I love the concept of time. It really is. But whenever you have to do what you have to do, there is no concept of time. I wish I had the energy. I'm realizing too that I'm like, man, this is my body's also getting there.
I know.
It's a lot to do.
Well, he doesn't have a watch, so he does.
Yeah, no.
Okay, come on, we gotta do this.
Well, especially like with the days, that's pretty strange too. But you as a beginner, that's why I would prefer both of y'all, but he hasn't shown a sign of wanting interest or anything.
No,
but they're not hating on you either. They're not hating on
No,
you
they're
either.
not hating. But when I told him the reason why I was coming, right? He says, "What? New Year's? It passed. No, George. They're saying everything on the calendar's wrong. Not to believe the calendar."
You said the celestial New Year?
It's
No.
celestial. No, yeah, that's what
It's the celestial sun, moon, and stars.
Yeah, so
we follow that time clock. That time clock is a time clock.
Moon, George. Like,
we follow
stars. So he said, "All right."
Okay.
He don't. Well, he doesn't understand.
Well, that's cool. At least he's not interrupting your.
Yeah, I'm telling me no. You can't go over there. No, he doesn't.
Good. He's not hindering you. He knows where you're at. We have a sister here. I hope I do this later on. I hope. It is. It is always.
I'm gonna miss him.
It's always a challenge. It's always a challenge. Yeah, that's part of it. Like one thing is myself, and then the other thing is being Israel. Spreading going out there as a missionary.
And you're gonna go like you did here in Rwanda, like homeless and stay here and stay there, or you're going.
That's what I do. That's how this life is. It's just how it is, and I leave it on his hands. And someone catches me, it's always blessing. I've done it for 50 cities already. The first 2 corners of the U.S. Oh yeah, it was something else. But now I'm headed to New York, the cities areas. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not in a hurry, but
I know you're not scared, but I would be scared.
No, of course, yeah.
Well, it's because we're a woman. Oh yeah. I couldn't do it because I'm a woman. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Because I know.
I just feel it's that urgent. It's urgent to know this message. It's that urgent.
There are a lot of crazy people out there.
Very much. Very much.
And then those crazy people don't believe in Yeshua or nothing.
Well, I go to the bread lines, so the cities, you gotta give them a little hope. But there's a lot of lost souls. There's a lot of lost souls, but there's a lot of good souls. There's a lot of souls that have been expecting me, Skid Row, Los Angeles, Tent City, the prophecy that happened there. This guy was like, it was prophecy that I was coming. I told you, things that you're like, what is happening to me in Colorado with my guides, people that they've been doing their organizations that I happen to be this sign that they were waiting for. This is 3 times. Even when I got here, it was 3 times. It was like, it's sure, but I'm still a man. Like, I'm not, this is not Christianity. That's why I always say it's not Christianity. Trust me, if you read the scriptures, you humble yourself. That story that he wrote it because I'm only going to tell it to you once. I'm only going to have it happen in the worst times in the history book. I'm going to leave the worst up to y'all. But that's us. I'm going to leave the worst up to y'all. It was bad for these guys, but there's a bad coming for y'all,
Yes.
which is an
Oh, yes.
enslavement, which is Satan mixed with that,
Yes.
and it's a big beast. And is it already here? Is it now? It's coming. It's here. It's in the building. It's in the making. So what we do right now is really important. And so that's the only credentials I can say is go into the four corners. That's how that pilgrimage came about. Not only that, the fourth corners, I still gotta go through the south again. But you meet beautiful people. That's what I'm half scared. I'm really like half of it. 50-50. Maybe less. Maybe I've gained more, through my faith. My faith grows. Your faith grows when you go out there, you depend on them, and that's all I'm trying to do. In the end, if we make it, hey, and I'm always gonna try my best with things that are happening, my interactions. I can't stop none of that either. Everything the Father wanted me to make, that painting didn't come out. It was me praying. It was through prayer. I was like, everything is all, and even in this pilgrimage. And so, um, just to make it not, yeah, lead us not into temptation, deliver us from every evil, hard testing, and deliver us from evil.
Yes.
Because
Amen.
Satan comes in all sorts of shapes. I don't even know what am I supposed to do. Like,
And
yeah.
then, is it bad to think like when he does come for us? Is it bad to think like, am I gonna go to heaven? I'm gonna go to hell. That's my thought. That's depends. I don't know if that's me right thinking that, but
Well, that's why every
I've
Sabbath.
done sins. I think everybody sins, right? But everybody thinks that.
Well,
but I wonder, like,
there's something important that I must always tell y'all, and I'm
What?
always gonna say it, and I'm always gonna tell you it's in the reading, and that's very important, and you do need it. And me as a guide, I don't. Sure, we're here spiritually. It's your house. You let us do this. You know what I mean? You come as a visitor, and you're here with us. Um, I'm only guiding, but yeah, when you start having a congregation, like people really starting to be that believe this, and already you're starting, the brother, really a brother. Um, well, that's what we have to be ready for. I mean, it's a whole different thing, and these credentials are like necessary for, why not? But the Messiah is the main one, and I at least must tell you what the Messiah says, and that's it. Try to do what he does, and that's it.
You have to have faith.
Well, you have to believe the scriptures, even that, even the fallen angels and all that. That's why they're so forgiving. That's why the Messiah is so forgiving. Forgiving because they don't know what they do. They were fooled. They're by their own power, by our own lust, by our own greed, by our own temptation. It is always rich versus the poor. Forget about the poor.
Still is.
Even still is now, but but now it's much
That's
more.
what I was telling Denise that the singers that my daughter says that if they're
Hallelujah.
they're evil. If you look at them, they all do the
Everything.
sign like that.
Yes, yes,
Like,
yes. That's it right there. That's the eye, the all-seeing eye, and all.
That's what. What's it called?
It's Satan mimicking the Father. It's the angels mimicking the Father. They love the Bible. They know they need the Bible to do their agendas, to know what to do, and to know how to deceive everyone. Satan needs the Bible too.
He knows the Bible better than anybody.
But it's our actions and our love. You will know them by their love. It's how we love. It's me not wanting to cause harm to nobody, and no matter what.
10 Commandments. Yes, 11.
11 is very important, but still, the 10. You live a long life. I mean, we already know the Messiah, but we're called as Gentiles, but not to stay there. Gentiles is someone of the nations. You see how you can become this? Women just have to keep it and make their oath, and everyone has to be immersed. That's what I was going to read anyway. But We'll read that. We'll see a little bit more. Oh yeah, I'm ready. You're ready. Getting there. All right. Yeah, we're seeing Rob Skiba, but we must come to a change one day. We must believe and stand firm because the Father lukewarm, he doesn't like that either, and we must choose a side. That's what they're doing. Either do this, which they're gonna threaten you with your livelihood. This is the way he tempted the Messiah too. After he came back in the desert, or he was during this desert, 40 days in the desert. He tempted him with bread. No, but you have to live off of every word that comes off from the Father's mouth. That's the bread, and tempting him, Satan, using the Bible on him, using the scriptures on him. It goes way deep. I mean, they can't write all those details because the Bible be this big. That'd be this book that's like almost the size of the internet, but there's a lot of material. And I know all this material. When I started hearing this guy, I already knew all this stuff because of this awakening. Everybody goes deep. There's a lot of people that go deep, but oh man, you can't get Judaized either. Even the Jews that are here, it's big. It's big. I'm just a little tadpole. I'm a little cell. That's all I am, really. But we're of the body of the Messiah. Like I try my best to be Messiah-like. I try my best. Um, yeah, I'm just pretty much on the pilgrimage, but one day I'm gonna finish it, and I'd like to get married, or I'd like to know about that world. And I know it takes money. I know it just takes. Yeah, I want to have the food for you, at least the place for you, the shelter, food, ministry. That's the golden key. I gotta snap out of it myself. I do with yes, yeah. Kind of thinking back about it, thinking through all this experience, reflecting. Yeah, a lot of girls do kind of hit on me, but not as much as if I didn't have it. You know what I mean? This still does work. And this
It
still
attracts
filter.
them, believe me, it attracts them.
Yeah, but I'm still covered up, and it's
That makes
daunting.
a difference. It doesn't make any
Yeah, I'm
difference.
sure it filters. I'm sure it filters. I'm sure it does get some back.
You need
You
to just
know,
be aware of it.
but
Yes, you
but
do.
this doesn't always happen. I don't always see it. If it does, it's never. It doesn't come across, but it does. As I thought
Very
about it, I was
subtle.
like, I
It's
just
very
think
subtle.
I was like, yeah, I guess,
Very
yeah,
subtle.
man, I guess I have had experience, with women do liking, this, and I gotta always hit my Kevin check. It's always a learning experience, and and time passes, so much information, and then more come. What if another comes? Still, it's. I know myself that that can't be. For one, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. Period. Um, but no, we do it for this message. I do enough to do for the message, to do for us, for you to be sure that you are gonna go to the heavens. You know what I mean? He is our forgiving. We are in a war right now. That's what I'm telling you. It's like we need the real soldiers. We can't just be reading the book. You gotta really start learning it. You gotta see where we're at. You gotta know the enslavement. But once you start doing those things, the Holy Spirit will start working through you more. The Father starts seeing your heart. He's like, wow, is her heart turning on fire? Do you see that little flicker in there? Yes, it is. That little flicker can turn into a fire. As I try to turn on the fire, I'm like, man, you just need that little flicker, that little ramita to turn on. But we're all human. We all have to help each other out. We all have to help each other out. That's what this all is, really. There's not a pastor who's going to save your soul. There's not a Joel Osteen, especially that, as good as they sound. No, no, no. Your actions also have to matter. And, the whole thing is just don't hurt no one. Don't force yourself on no one. Assault. Don't do no assault. Harassment is always going to happen. Like, that's just crazy. But, be cool with it. Uh, Nip it. If you don't, especially girls, y'all. I'm sure that happens with y'all. Well, y'all know. I don't know. I'm just saying. Right? I'm just saying. Even for guys, like I said, the pretty girls is like, oh man, you just. I don't talk to no one though. That's another thing that helps me out. But I can't talk to them no matter how pretty they are. I can't talk to them until they talk to me. That's another thing that helps me out.
But he
But
smiles at him. I'm going, but that's being nice. You have
yeah,
to smile.
we're in this world, and then they're all in spandex, and it's just
Oh, yeah, don't even
insane.
go there for that.
They have the makeup. The makeup was made by the fallen angels. Taught them how to do all these things, all these tricks, all these different, the potions and all these different the colognes, perfumes, cosmetics. Yeah, just
It's a call of attraction. That's how you attract the bee. You attract the bee that way.
but they always say we're against higher powers and principalities, and my mind's always hanging out right there. Mine is always in the depths of the wickedness, and that's why I go into the streets of the U.S. Yay! Like I said, there's a little hope, but man, it's a war out there. It is. There's people that are dark, but then there's a lot of people that they're just struggling that this is happening. They're tired of this government. They're tired of this nation, like what it's doing and how it is. It's the pale horse, all the drugs too. It's like, yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you have to really be on point to live in America.
The druggies around here, like,
And so I'm trying to build
like
ministry for that.
that's. Remember, I told you that my nephew, or did I tell you that that house that burned? My nephew was right next door to him. Thank God he woke up. I thought it was a fireman. No, he said that he smelled smoke and he woke Jasmine
Right.
and goes.
One of my things is I don't live in time. Um, I'm always ready. I'm not busy for someone. Like I go to talk to them or whatever. I'm not busy, or I could help them out or something. You know what I mean? When it comes to labor, well, yeah, I need some money. You know what I mean? Some tip. I know I value my time because I have been through a lot. We've been through so much, like so much. But I don't live in the time, and as long as we celebrate it, and if you're with someone else and they're celebrating it, you can celebrate it with them. No one, it's really tough. People already have. Even the Hebrews were like, he's having the New Year's right now. Like, yeah, even they say I'm off. Everybody's off. Everybody seems to be off, but they're not keeping it with the celestials. I am. So the celestials is the best time clock there is. Like he made that for appointed time and seasons, and when the one we say in the menorah, the creating of on the fourth day he created sun, moon, and